Um, I wanted to talk a little bit about Robinhood because that's the new player. And this is a tweet that was retweeted by Mark Blythe that really hits, I think, on some of the problems of Robinhood, not just what it did, which was shutting down trading on GameStop and these what people are calling meme stocks, right? Which, let's get one thing straight, that was ridiculous. That was 100% manipulation of the market. And let's understand, though, that this wasn't just a bunch of people getting mad. These relationships go much deeper. So this is Mark Blythe here, um, and he retweeting this tweet. If you could click on that for a second,
Oh
man.
yeah, there you go.
If you don't understand what's happening with Robinhood and Wall Street, here's a good explainer. Citadel is the hedge fund that bailed out Melvin Capital, which was short GME GameStop. They weren't just short, they sold shares over and over and over so much that they had sold 160% of the entire float short. They could only win if they bankrupted the company. Citadel is the primary market maker for all these platforms. When you buy stock, if there isn't a seller right away, Citadel acts as the market and sells it later. Same for options. They create contracts as demanded by the market. Well, they are also the market maker for Robinhood. In return, Citadel pays Robinhood for a data feed. They pay more to Robinhood on its trades than they pay any other platform. Why? Because that data tells them where the millennials are going before the market knows. What does that do? It allows Citadel to front run their trades to buy what they're buying before the millennials can get there. Citadel was losing a lot on these options contracts. So they told Robinhood, if you want to stay in business and IPO, you do what we say and stick it to those kids. And this is really important, not only because of what Robinhood ended up doing, which was is exactly that, taking those orders, but Robinhood has been presented to people as this kind of company. I mean, their tagline was "We're democratizing finance,"
It's literally
which
Robin Hood, right?
yeah. I mean, which was, complete BS because they weren't trying to democratize finance to help out little people. They were trying to include a bunch of people that could be taken advantage of. You need to understand one thing about the stock market and this entire world of financial capital. There are winners, but to be a winner, there has to be losers. And there always has to be people who are left holding the bag. And Robinhood has played a huge role in introducing a lot of folks to be willful dupes of financial capital. Now, listen, I'm sure there are some very smart people in the audience who are listening to this show, and they're doing a great job on their trades, and good on you. All right. Honestly, like, I am happy for you. Like, stick it to these people. If you can beat their bets, I think it's awesome. I think it's hilarious and it's very fun. But what ends up happening is these companies like Robinhood, one, they have, and we'll get into some of the lawsuits against them in a second. Um, they have very unfair, actually, practices compared to other companies who do similar things as Robinhood. When it comes to the order that you get the stocks in, which means that everyone else gets to buy the stocks at preferable prices before you do, right? So they're already giving people actually a bad deal. What they're doing is they're making it fairly easy, and they're gamifying it, and they're making it something that's digestible for young people who like to use an app, right? What that does is it brings in a lot of people who are watching this casino happen in front of them and say, man, all these other people are getting rich quick, I better jump in and start making some money, right? What Again, if you can do it and it makes you money, I think that's great. But what is going to happen is people are going to get hurt, and they're going to be the ones ending up holding the bag of these stocks, which have now been, very much inflated. People are coming in and they're buying these stocks because they're hearing from the media and everybody around them that they're only going up, not understanding the real risk that's going in. Um, and that's a problem in and of itself, but Robinhood in particular is a really nasty company, and we have this article from Jackman that actually breaks down some of the nastier things that Robinhood has been accused of and is now facing litigation over. Not just so people are clear, not just what they did today, shutting down the market, which was again egregious, and they should be investigated for it. But they have been doing much more uh, egregious stuff too that is not what the main story is for a lot of people today. So this was published a couple weeks ago by Clark Randall and Jacobin. The trading app Robinhood takes from you and gives to the rich. Scroll down a little bit. Um, Market research estimates that over 10 million Americans became first-time investors in 2020. A staggering 6 million chose to invest through Robinhood, the Silicon Valley startup. I'll go down the second paragraph. Um, People have been warning about its mission to democratize finance because how is Robinhood getting paid? Well, they're taking advantage of folks. Most recent is this class action lawsuit filed on December 24th that claims Robinhood offsets the cost of its commission free calling card by reselling stock orders for backdoor fees. A similar charge was settled with the SEC on December 17th, with Robinhood forced to pay out 65 million for misleading customers about its revenue sources and failing to execute trades at quality prices. The SEC found that this later fault cost users over $34 million, far exceeding any short change savings they would have made on commissioned costs, right? So what's happening there is that Robinhood is allowing other people to basically get ahead of everybody, which means that when everyone else is buying stocks on a certain day, whatever the way the wave's going, all of these other people are coming in line first, which means they get it at the lower price and then, are able to profit more than the people who get it on the back end. Right. And that's what Robinhood is essentially doing to all these folks, mining them for information, seeing what all of these people are going to do, and then getting the big players, the old school players, the opportunity to jump ahead of everybody to make sure that they get the most gains. Right. That's the problem with Robinhood, in addition to the fact that they aren't fair arbiters, and in the fact that they are completely in bed with all of these other companies and are going to follow their bidding instead of the bidding of their customers.
Yeah, get out of the share here.
And look, I think there's the thing that I just wanted to warn people about is the fact that these companies, Robinhood, and Robinhood in particular, because that's been the main player, one, they were screwed up before they pulled the plug today, right? They were trying to create the system of advantage for the people who, are the old boys in this club. And that's the game. I mean, that's basically has been what the story has been from the get-go. The Wall Street doesn't like when everyone else gets an opportunity to play. But what people need to understand is the people who are giving you the opportunity to play are taking you for a ride as well. Because
Yeah,
this entire system is designed to screw you. The entire system is designed to screw you
the
for the benefit of
casino
a few.
the casino metaphor is just entirely revealing, right? They wouldn't let you in the door if this was good for you,
Yeah.
right? Ultimately. And speaking of people letting the door, I think this
Yeah.
also should be brought up in context of all this stuff. Nancy Pelosi bought options, so she's not shorting Tesla, which would be kind of funny. If a politician would take short positions on Tesla, maybe I'd be less interested in banning trading from politicians. But Nancy Pelosi bought options instead of let me share this here of Tesla. Nancy Pelosi buys Tesla calls, stands to benefit from new Biden EV plan. And it's not just Tesla, obviously, that's a headline one, but it's
Mhm.
also Apple and all these other companies. And like the things people say about her net worth before and after she started becoming a politician are entirely relevant
Oh
and
yeah.
disgusting for somebody who's in charge of like whether you deserve $2,000 or not. And I mean, look, she did, I guess, her part for that, but I don't know. It's pretty gross. And I mean, Elizabeth Warren keeps talking about her plan to ban members of Congress from trading stock. Of course, I mean that should
Mhm.
be. I mean,
Oh,
we should
no
hear
doubt
more
about
about
it.
what the conflict there. Like, I want to hear more upset about Pelosi from like let's say Warren type people who think that's a good plan.
Yeah. I think so too. I mean, it's the advantage that Congress people have to game this system is absurd. And people need to understand that this is just them getting their payback, from basically creating a market that is impenetrable to the average person, and benefits the small few. I wanted to mention, and we might have to just come back to this after Jen, that we can talk about GameStop and how I was saying earlier how it's overvalued. No one get. I don't want to deal with a bunch of people getting mad at me who are participating in this. I'm saying the entire thing is overvalued. We're not hearing a bunch about Tesla or Shopify or Snapchat, right? All stocks that have exploded since of the beginning of this crisis, right? When there has been no serious material change, on their on the actual like existing economy for these corporations, right? That's all speculation. And you want to know something that's really wild? If you talk to traders, if you read the Financial Times, if you read or participate in conversations with, or listen to, at least you can find it all online, pretty easily, what they're talking about. All these traders know that the stock market right now is extremely overvalued, and that there really is no reason that the few companies that are driving growth in stock right now, which are like Apple and Tesla and Spotify and all these other companies, um, that there really is no reason that they should be as highly valued as they are. But what keeps them highly valued is the fact that every day those traders go in and they buy more stocks for their portfolios and for their clients, right? It's one of these self-fulfilling prophecies. So people getting mad at the Redditors for participating in the same game that the rest of them playing is BS. Thinking that this is going to crash the system, I'm going to be honest with everybody, is wrong, right? Take advantage if you can, and get some dough from these assholes.
Be
uh,
careful though. I mean, I
be
think
very careful.
isn't it the case that if you were going to take advantage of this, you needed to be pretty early on it
Oh yeah,
yesterday?
well that's the point, is like once they have that, I mean, once Melvin got out, the point of doing what they were doing had pretty much ended, right? At that point, people were just trying to ride the wave for hearing about it late. I mean, that's essentially what happened, and that's honestly is what's going to be the tragedy of this situation. I think 100% should be investigated. The fact that that they basically shut out an entire class of investors, a class of players, like Robinhood did, no doubt about it. But what's really tragic about this story is that the people who got in late because they're just sort of um, watching the story go on, and they say, "Oh, there's a great opportunity to make
Look
a
at all
bunch of
these
easy money."
headlines.
Yeah, those are going to be the people who are going to be holding what $300, whatever it is,
GameStop.
GameStop stock, which you don't want to be holding at the end of the day, right? You want to get out, you need to sell it to somebody, and the problem is going to be when people try to sell out, they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's well said. Unless this is what GameStop needs to become, the monopoly of the
Well,
future. It's
unless this is what GameStop needs to become to become the next Bitcoin. Just have no rehab, no connection to reality anymore, just a pure speculative asset. That would also be very funny. Even though GameStop is a horrible company, and they took advantage of all of us nerds and gamers for years,
yeah,
as, as we resold our games to them.
yeah. I resold my games for a Call of Duty 2 T-shirt.
Jesus, are you serious?
Yeah, I have that. I don't know if I still have that shirt, but yeah, Call of Duty 2. That was a gaming piece of merchandise that I wore to actual high school. So that was
Mhm.
me.